Hey, want your animation to look like it belongs to Pro Animation Studio? You're in the right place. Welcome back to our Blender 2D animation series for beginners. Today, we are diving into anime-style coloring in Blender using simple color fills. This tutorial will walk you through the essentials, materials, layers, tools, and the step-by-step process to bring your characters to life. Whether you're just starting out or looking to polish your skills, there is something here for you. Let's get started. Let's begin with materials, which are the foundation of your shading in Blender. You'll find the Materials panel by selecting the sphere icon in the Properties window. Here, you'll work with two key types: stroke materials and fill materials. Stroke materials handle your line art, giving your characters those crisp outlines. Fill materials are what we'll use today to add color and shading. Setting up fill materials is straightforward. Create a new material, check the fill checkbox, and pick a color. Easy peasy, right? Quick heads up for Blender 5.1 users. In the latest version, grease pencil materials no longer have separate toggles for stroke or fill visibility. The material now defines color for both lines and fills at once. You switch between stroke modes right in the top toolbar in Draw mode, or use the new Set Stroke Type menu for existing strokes. This change simplifies things. For example, you can reuse the same material for black lines and black fills, just toggling the mode as needed. No more dedicated line art only material required. If you prefer the old workflow, create separate materials and set the fill opacity to 0 for line only ones, or stroke opacity to 0 for fill only. Then keep the mode on both and just swap materials like before. This change doesn't make a major difference to your pipeline. Now back to the lesson. If you want to follow along this lesson, don't forget to get the source files for free. Link is in the description below. When coloring, you can select your material from the list in the Materials tab. You can also switch between them using the drop-down in the top toolbar while you draw, or press right mouse button and pick from the context menu here. This makes it easy to stay organized as you add color to your project. Think of this step as preparing your tools before you begin. It sets you up for success. Here is a quick look. I'll select the fill material, and now I'm ready to apply it. Next, let's talk about layers. You'll see the layer list in the data section on the right side of Blender. If you used programs like Photoshop or Krita, this setup will feel familiar. Layers are all about keeping your work organized. For example, placing your line art on one layer and your color fills on another means you can edit them separately without any overlap. The layer that is higher in the list is rendered on top of those that are lower. To add a layer, just hit the plus icon. You can rearrange them with the arrow buttons, turn them on and off, and lock them to avoid changes by mistake. For animation, I like grouping fills with their line art. For example, keeping the tails fills with the tails lines. To create a group, press this icon and drop all the layers you need there. And don't forget to name them. Good habits will make your workflow so much smoother. Now let's explore the tools we'll use: the brush tool and the fill tool. Both are great for coloring, but they shine in different situations. The brush tool paired with the fill material lets you draw shapes by hand, offering control for detailed areas. The fill tool is faster. It fills enclosed spaces with one click, which is perfect for larger sections. Here's a tip. Use the brush tool for tricky spots, like around the eyes, hair strands, or in tight spaces. To color big areas, the fill tool will get it done quickly. Knowing when to switch between them is a game changer. With the fill tool, you can tweak settings like precision. Higher precision works well for smaller spaces, though it might take a bit longer. I'll show you how this looks in action soon. There is also a set of tools, such as lines, circles and boxes for certain rare cases. The Polyline tool can help you if you need to fill something manually but not freehand, offering greater control and reducing pressure on your accuracy. Other tools? Nah, we're good already. Did you know that this video is sponsored by you? If you want to help the channel, consider becoming a member or joining my Patreon, or simply share it with your friends. Your support is much appreciated. To make coloring easier, I suggest starting with concept art. I like using Krita for this. It's quick for sketching and planning colors. Your concept art acts like a guide, helping you see where your shading will go before you jump into Blender. When picking colors, think about balance. Shadows can be cooler and darker, while highlights might be warmer and lighter. Once it's done, bring your concept art into Blender as a reference. Go to Add, Image, Reference and load it up. Then use the color picker to grab exact colors for your materials. Before we color, let's set up our materials properly. Create a material for each fill color you plan to use. This gives you flexibility to tweak colors later across the whole animation in seconds. Give them clear names, something like hair, shadow, skin, light, so you can find them fast. If you're using multiple shades, add numbers like hair shadow 1 and hair shadow 2 to keep things straight. I add _L for light and _S for shadow. To use the color picker, select your material, hover the cursor over the color of the material, press E and then pick the color you need for this material from your reference image. One quick note: in the Render tab, under Color Management, switch to Standard Color Transform. This keeps your picked colors accurate. With your materials ready and line art in place, let's add color separation lines. These are the lines you see in anime behind the scenes that mark where light and shadow meets. They help your shading stay clean and clear. Draw them based on your concept art, focusing on how light hits your character and where shadow naturally falls. Draw them on a new layer so you can turn them on and off. Now we are ready to fill the colors. Create a new layer for your fills, grab the fill tool, pick your material from the drop-down and click inside an area. Oopsie, didn't work. If the fill doesn't work, there might be a tiny gap in your line art. You can fix it by adjusting the lines in Edit mode or turning on the Close Gap option in the Fill tool settings. Gap closing is here in Advanced Settings. Enable Visual Aids, and when you click once, it will show you the radius of the gap closure. You can adjust it with the mouse wheel and then click again to apply the fill. Honestly, clicking twice is a bit tiring, especially when you need to colorize many frames manually. Turn off visual aids and you'll only have to click once. Sometimes it's just better to have clean lines and not worry about gaps. Here is a good approach. Start with shaded areas, then move to lights. This lets each layer overlap naturally, avoiding gaps. For instance, I'll fill the shaded area on the body first. To keep things clear, I'll hide the separation lines temporarily, so the fill tool targets the right spots. Sometimes the fill tool misses small areas, especially in tight corners. That's okay, it happens. Switch to Edit mode, select the shape and move the point to close any gaps. If you need more detail, select a segment and use Subdivide to add extra points. If that feels slow, the brush tool can step in for manual fixes. It's not as neat, but it works. Cleanup is just part of the process. It's how you get that polished and professional finish. After the shaded fills are done, bring back the separation lines and fill the lights. Double check that all your contours are closed for a smooth result. For things like eye highlights, fill the base color first, then layer the highlights on top so it stands out clearly. If you accidentally filled some shape and it overlapped the previously filled shape, don't worry. You can move them front or back. Select a stroke or fill shape, go to Stroke, Range, and pick Bring Forward. This moves the stroke one step higher in the list of all strokes of that layer. Filling can take a few steps, but with everything set up, it's simple. Pick the material, click and repeat. Keep your concept art handy to stay on track. There you go. Your character is now rocking that anime style shading. Got questions? Leave them in the comments, I'm here to help. Want more? Check our video for advanced coloring techniques for extra flair, or dive into animation basics in our next tutorial. If you enjoy my videos, support me on Patreon, Gumroad or become a member. That helps a lot. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Press subscribe.